If your compost pile is still acting like it's February when your garden says it's spring, this one's for you. Welcome to rootInsect.com.
And honestly, spring is when people get impatient. You've got seedlings ready, beds waiting, and that compost pile is sitting there half finished like it needs another month of therapy.
That's where Compost Accelerators come in. We're talking about products that help speed decomposition so your kitchen scraps and yard waste turn into usable compost a lot faster.
In some cases, manufacturers claim they can cut composting time by up to half. So instead of waiting ages, you may be looking at finished compost in around 6 weeks, if your pile is built well and managed properly.
That if matters. Because I know some folks hear accelerator and think they can toss a scoop onto a soggy heap of avocado skins and branches and somehow get black gold by next weekend.
I wish. No, the accelerator helps the biology along. It adds concentrated microbes and enzymes that break organic material down faster. But you still need the basics right. Good airflow, adequate moisture, and a balance of greens and browns.
Give people the number, because that's the part gardeners always pretend they'll remember.
Roughly 30-to-1 carbon to nitrogen. Browns are things like dry leaves, straw, shredded cardboard. Greens are grass clippings, kitchen scraps, coffee grounds. If the ratio is way off, the accelerator can't perform miracles.
See, I'm more casual than you on ratios. I'm a looks about right compost guy.
And that is why your pile sometimes smells like a swamp.
Once. One time.
More than once.
Fair. But one thing I do like about accelerators in spring is that they're especially useful when the weather's still cold and decomposition is sluggish. If you're gardening in USDA zones 3 through 7, spring can be all over the place.
Exactly. Those cooler conditions slow microbial activity, so an accelerator can give you a jump start. That means compost is ready closer to planting time, and that can really help with early crops. Rich compost improves soil structure, helps roots establish, and boosts water retention too.
Which matters whether you've got a tiny raised bed or a bigger farm setup. Healthy soil saves work later. Better moisture holding. Fewer nutrient problems, less dependence on synthetic fertilizer.
And when you're shopping for an accelerator, don't just grab the first bag with a picture of a tomato on it. Look for a diverse microbial mix, including bacteria and fungi. That range helps break down more kinds of material.
And enzymes too, right?
Yes, things like cellulase and amylase are useful because they help tackle tough plant fibers and starches. That's especially handy if your pile includes a lot of stems, old garden debris, or shredded paper products.
There's also the form factor question. Liquid, powder, granular. I tend to like liquids because they're easy to apply.
I lean powder. Longer shelf life, usually easier to store, and I'm less likely to spill it all over my boots. Granular can be nice too if you want something simple and less messy.
Another thing, if organic gardening matters to you, check for certification that says the product is suitable for organic use, and maybe avoid anything loaded with synthetic chemicals, because the whole point here is helping soil life, not bullying it.
That's the heart of it. Composting is really about feeding the ecosystem in your soil. You want more microbial activity, not fewer beneficial organisms. An accelerator should support that process, not work against it.
Let's talk use. My rule is build the pile in layers, apply the accelerator according to the label, then keep the pile as damp as a wrung-out sponge.
Good rule. And turn it. People hate hearing that, but turning adds oxygen and distributes moisture and microbes. If you apply accelerator and never touch the pile again, results will be disappointing.
Also, if you're managing a lot at once, like seed starting, field prep, and compost, keeping a planting schedule organized really helps. Otherwise, your compost is ready after you've already planted everything and forgotten where you meant to use it.
Been there. I once made beautiful compost and then used the rough, unfinished pile on the bed that actually needed the finished stuff. The tomatoes forgave me eventually, but they were judgmental.
Tomatoes are like that. So the big takeaway, compost accelerators can help, especially in spring, but they work best as part of a good system.
Right. Start with the right material mix, choose a product with microbes and enzymes, keep the pile moist and aerated, and use it to get biologically active compost ready when your soil needs it most. Thank you for listening to this edition of RudeInsect.com, Conversations with Grant and Fiona.